Hey guys, welcome to the Skolo Online YouTube channel, the channel that is all about learning, okay? If you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe to our channel. The subscribe button will be the red button below the video you're watching right now. Just smash that button and be subscribed, and make sure you turn on notifications so that you'll be notified every time that we produce a new video on this channel. In addition, if you go to the bottom of the video that you're watching right now and look under the description, you'll see that show more button. Just click on it and open it up. You will see much more information with respect to the video. If there's anything I need to link for you down and I say I'm going to link in the description below, that's where you'll find it, all right? And there will also be timestamps to help you navigate through the video. If you want to go to a certain section of the video, you don't have to watch the entire video. You can use the timestamps. Just click on the timestamp like that and it will take you to the section of the video that you want to watch, okay? And we also have our social media links below: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over. Please follow us on all those other channels so that you can get informed if there's something that we're publishing out as well. And if there's videos that are related to this video that we think would be useful for you to watch, we will also link it in that description, okay? So now that we got all the formalities out of the way, let us talk about what we're going to be doing in this video, all right? So we're going back to e-commerce. We're going to be talking about the top 5 Google shopping tweaks that can help you double your revenue, okay? What do I mean by Google shopping tweaks? I'm talking about the combination. If you have an e-commerce store, specifically WooCommerce, but this can work with any other e-commerce platform that you're working with, right? One of the fastest ways to get traffic and most affordable ways to get traffic to your e-commerce store is using Google Shopping, all right? And there's a combination that you can apply: Google Merchant Center, Google Shopping, and Google Ads to show your products directly in Google Ads and drive traffic to your store, okay? A lot of people are using this arrangement, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the little tweaks that you can apply to this arrangement to help you increase your sales and make you make more money with your online store, okay? So I've got good advice in this video, the type of advice that we consultants actually charge people a lot of money to tell them, and I'm going to be telling you this all for free. So keep tuned all the way to the end, because I'm going to be going from the bottom to the top one, and the last one is going to be the most interesting one and the one that gets you the most return for your buck, okay? So let's get started. So what I'm referring to here is what we call the Google Merchant Setup, all right? And this video that I was actually just going through earlier on is on our channel, guys. You can go to this link at the top there. This is the video, tag, all right? And if you can find it on YouTube, this video takes you through the entire setup of Google Merchant if you're using WooCommerce, all right? It takes you through the process of creating a Google Merchant account. It takes you through the process of linking your products and adding them to the Google Merchant. It takes you through the product of creating a feed, a feed that talks to Google Merchant. So this is the technical video that shows you how to actually set up Google Merchant, okay? I'm not going to be going through the technical steps of setting up Google Merchant in this video, all right? And if you want to do the technical stuff, go and watch this one on our channel that we did 6 months ago. It's very, very detailed. It's about an hour long or so. Can't remember exactly, but it's quite long. It's about 35 minutes long, but it covers everything that you need to do if you're coming from a WooCommerce perspective. And if you can watch it for WooCommerce, I'm sure you can figure out how to then apply to any other program. But we are going to continue from that point, assuming you've got Google Merchant set up, and assume you've got Google Ads set up, and you've got this arrangement going, but perhaps you're not making as many sales as you thought, or you're making sales and you're thinking, actually, maybe can I make more sales? You'll be surprised to find out that if you do just a couple of things, you can actually increase, just even if it's just by small fraction, the amount of money that you're making, all right? Let's get started. Top 5. What's the first thing that you can do? All right. And this one would seem obvious, right? But it's not obvious, because I actually come across so many people who do this thing, and I scratch my head like, what are you thinking, right? So it's a common practice that when you get started, you'll have a Facebook shopping campaign, you'll have a Google shopping campaign, maybe you'll even have an Instagram shopping campaign. And I know people that are selling their products on 4 or 5 different channels because they want to reach different people. Their justification is that, no, I've got clients on Facebook, I've got clients on Instagram, and I want to reach people from all the different channels. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, when I got started, I used to have shopping campaigns on multiple different channels. And the only reason why I would recommend anybody does that is so that you can figure out which one is going to be more effective, okay? So when I got started, I did have a Facebook campaign. I had an Instagram campaign. I had a Google campaign. I could never get Twitter to work, right? So out of those three, I was able to sort of study them over a couple of months and figure out which one makes me more money, all right? And you need to create a table like what I've done here, all right? So let's say, for example, you've got a Facebook campaign and you've got a Google campaign, all right? And then you do your comparison and then you check how much are you spending on Facebook per month, all right? How much are you spending on Google per month? And people don't do this, but you've got to do this. After you figure out, let's say you're spending 1,000 rands on each and you've split your money equally between the two campaigns, right? And then you check, Facebook gives you 1,000 clicks, Google gives you 800 clicks. So you're getting less clicks from Google than you're getting from Facebook. I'm taking, this is a real life example that I'm actually giving to you. Not specifically the number exactly, but the numbers are sort of rounded. But I'm talking about something that's a real life scenario, okay? Then you find that you're getting a little bit more clicks from Facebook, more engagement. You're getting followers to your Facebook group. You're getting people to engage with you. Your Facebook is happening. It's happening because you're spending a lot of money on those campaigns. But Google is just Google Shopping. You don't even see what's happening until you get a sale with Google Shopping, right? But you have no followers. You get fewer clicks in a way. But come month end, and you check where your sales are coming from. Let's say at the end of the month you've made 30 plus 20 sales. What's that? 50 sales, but 30 of those were from people coming from Google, and you can actually track your sales, where they're coming from, where that person came from. And it's very important when you make a sale, you know where that person came from. So a lot of people spend money like this, but they don't track where the sales come from, and they see the sales at the end of the month. They split their campaigns, and they don't even care where the money is coming from. They're just happy to split their money through all the whatevers. You have to know where your sales are coming from. Okay, so go through your numbers and track when did that person first come to your website, and how did they find your website? Did they find your website via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or did they find it via Google? When I tracked my sales, I actually found, even though my Facebook page seemed to be so hip and happening and I wanted to spend more money on it, actually I was getting more sales from my Google Shopping campaign. Even though I was getting less clicks and less followers, people are not following, they're just like buying and going away, but they are giving me money. I'm making more sales from that. So I thought about it and I said, you know what, actually, it makes more sense to then scrap the Facebook campaign completely, right? And if I have 1,000 rands that was splitting between all of them, and I was making 20 sales from there and 30 sales from there, and in total I'm making 50 sales, if I actually scrap Facebook shopping and I put everything into Google Shopping, and I spend 2,000 into Google Shopping, even though I'm only making 1,700 clicks, I get no followers on my Facebook page now. My Facebook page has just gone quiet, right? But I'm actually making 60 sales. And I'm making now double the money I was making before, right? Instead of making 50 sales and 8,000 rands, I'm making 10,000 rands and 60 sales. I've just increased the margin of my revenue by getting rid of a campaign. It's a working campaign. And when you look at your Facebook, you're happy to see comments and followers every day, but these people are not buying, right? So the money that you're spending on these followers, if you actually put it on a campaign that people are actually buying from, you know what I'm saying? And instead of splitting your money, people love to split their money between, I want to get also the Instagram guys. I don't want to lose the Instagram guys. I don't want to lose those guys. I want to get everybody. And people split their money between like 10 different platforms, TikTok, everything. They've got campaigns all over. If actually you did all of that just for the first 6 months and you figured out which one is the most effective, it might not be Google for you. For me, it was Google. So let's say you do this and for you it comes out Facebook was more effective. Then scrap Google and then put all your money into the more effective one. Even though the other one has some sort of feedback, what gives you more money? That's my first tip for you, all right? Put all your eggs into one basket. Despite popular belief in this specific scenario, it'll make you more money, right? Number 2, when you do Google Shopping ads, and I'm talking about because you do the Merchant Center, you do the Google Shopping, and then you get to the Google ads. It's the last end of the step is where you're creating this type of ads that appear at the top as Google ads, right? When you get to Google Shopping ads, always use a smart shopping campaign, right? There is 2 types of campaigns, and I will show you right now, right? Let's go to our Google ads, and you go to creating a new campaign, right? When you're faced with this page, these are all the campaigns you can create when you want to create an ad campaign with Google, right? By the time you get here, if you followed our video, you would already have a Google Merchant account and Google Feed set up with your store. So you already have Google Shopping set up. Here, it's just where you're creating the ad. When you come to create the ad, you must always pick the sales ad, right? And then there's two types. There is the shopping campaign, right? And the smart, no, you need to pick the shopping campaign first. And then you have the smart shopping or the standard shopping campaign. So you're going to pick the shopping at the top there. You don't pick smart there because this is smart visiting your website. But at the bottom there, you'll have the smart and then you have the standard, right? Always pick the smart over the standard, right? What is the difference between the smart and the standard? The smart shopping campaign uses a little bit more AI to figure out the type of people that are going to buy from you. But what you need to know is that it always works out cheaper for you. Sometimes I actually do them both, right? But then I put more money in the smart and less in the standard because I actually wanted to learn off the standard and use that information to make my smart better. After that, let's go to number 3, all right? This one might not be so obvious, right? And this is something that they teach even in the MBA classes. Trust me, I've done my MBA. I've been in those marketing classes in the MBA. This was on the curriculum, all right? When you have a store, right, and you're selling products to people, right, you need to have this thing they call, a product strategy or a sort of like a product design strategy. You need to have a strategy around how you design your products and how you design your store, right? Many people go into e-commerce and they decide, you know what, I want to sell blankets, and okay, where am I going to get the blankets? Ooh, they go quickly to woocommerce, to what you call this, AliExpress, and they find like different types of blankets, and they just populate their store, and the store has like 1,000 blankets, and then they start selling, and then they just spend lots and lots of money on advertising, and then they wonder why they're losing money, right? And why they're not making any sales. This is one of the most fundamental tricks when it comes to designing a store, right? You need to decide what do you want to sell in your store, and then you need to decide other products that are going to complement the product you really want to sell so that you can get people to buy what you actually want people to buy. So in this specific store, this is what I want to sell. I want to sell this color kit for 900 rands. In fact, if it were up to me, I would only have this one item in the store. But the problem is, if I have a store and I only have one item for 900 rands, magic color kit, no one is going to buy it because the first of all, people are going to say, but why are you only selling one item in the store? And why is it so expensive, right? So what do? I fill the store with other things, okay, that complement that thing, but that make that thing look even more attractive. So I'll have a lipstick that it goes for like 200 rands. And then I have like an eyeliner that goes for like 100 rand, right? And I put it next to the thing that goes for 800 rands. And I put them in the same line. So my store looks like it's a proper makeup store. Oh, it's a proper makeup store. They also sell lipstick. They also sell eyeliner. Okay, so they're not just selling one thing. But this is actually psychological on the person's mind. That person is going to look at that kit and think to themselves, but this whole lipstick is just 200 rand, just one lipstick. And one eyeliner is a whole 129 rand. Already I'm spending 300 rands just on one lipstick and one eyeliner. Actually, it makes more sense if I bought the kit because the kit has more lipsticks and more eyeliners inside. I'm saving money. I'm getting more back for my value. Suddenly, putting the lipstick and the eyeliner next to the kit makes the kit look more attractive. People look at the kit and they think, no, this is more value because it's got more stuff inside. And eventually, they will buy the kit. They won't buy the lipstick and they won't buy the eyeliner. They'll still buy the kit. But this person actually wants to sell the kit. And they just put the lipstick and the eyeliner next to the kit to make the buyer psychologically think in their mind they're playing a psychological game that actually the kit looks better. It's better value for money. Sometimes they'll even have another kit that costs 1,500 rand, that has even more things. Or maybe that has maybe more expensive things. And then they'll put this in the middle, right? Because then they want the person to think, no, but the other one is too expensive, but this is just the right price, but it's got more things than that one, and it's got more things than that one. Then you're going to end up selling this kit. And I'm not making this up because I got this from a real store, right? I'm going to show you right now. This I actually literally copied and pasted this from Take a Lot, okay? I screenshot this page from Take a Lot. So I'm showing you and proving to you that big supermarkets, big brands, they do this. This is actually a marketing trick they teach even in the MBA classes, okay? You can apply this to your own store to sell more items that you actually want to sell. If you had only the kit in your store, people would think it's expensive. But suddenly, if you put the kit next to a lipstick for 200 Rand and an eyeliner for 100 Rand, suddenly that kit looks like value for money. So this is how you need to strategize your store. You need to find those high value items you really want to sell. And then you need to complement them with a whole lot of other crap around it that makes people think, actually, that thing is not so bad. That's what I should be buying. So that you're selling stuff that's going for 800 Rand, 900 Rand. That's what you want to do. You want to sell high value items. And we're going to come back to this later when we come to buying and selling adverts, okay? When we're going to now close the deal on how to actually sell this thing for 800 Rands, right? But before that, let's look at number 2. So the second last thing that you need to do is this one is simple, guys. If you're an online business and you don't have a Google My Business profile, shame on you. What the hell are you doing running an online store? Okay, Google My Business is the most fundamental thing you should be having for your online business, and it's free. Okay, it's free, and you got no excuse why you're not doing it. Okay, what are the benefits? Let me tell you the most important benefit. The consumer. The consumer is the most important benefit. Go and do your research. Over 60% of people will research the brand before they make a purchase. So if somebody, for example, goes to Google, right? This is a Google My Business page, right? If somebody goes to Google and say they want to buy a watch, whatever, and they look at a watch and they see, oh, this is iStore, I know iStore, Superbalist, I know Superbalist, but this SA Buell it looks like this looks like a nice watch, but I've never heard of this before. You know what they do? They Google SA Buell because I want to know, is this a real store? Is this a proper brand? This watch looks more attractive and cheaper, but I don't know if this is a real business, right? And then they Google it and look over there, they've got an ad, but they don't have a Google My Business store. I'm not going to buy that watch, right? Because I know Google My Business verifies businesses before they add it there. So Google My Business is one way of knowing if an online store is legitimate. I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to check SABWell on Facebook. Do they have a Facebook account? Do they have an Instagram account? Do they have a Twitter account? Are they a legitimate business? If I've never heard of them before and they are sort of advertising in line with iStore, I know iStore, I can buy this even if it's 16 grand. I know they're reputable. But if I can't find SABWell anywhere else except on their own website, I can't know if they're a real legitimate business. You know what I'm saying? Where is that? Where are they located? So Google My Business might not make you more sales, but you are losing sales because you don't have it. There is potentially 1 out of 3 sales you're losing because somebody Googled you and they didn't find you on Google My Business. And then they thought, no, maybe you're not a legitimate e-commerce store because you don't even have a Google My Business page. You don't even have, you're not, we can't find you where you are, a physical location. So do not lose sales because you cannot. This is the simplest thing to do, guys. We've got a video on our channel, all right? We've got a video on our channel for Google My Business inside Skolo Online, all right? So if I go in here and I go under playlists, and at the bottom here, there it is. The full playlist. Actually, it's like 5-minute long videos. So it could actually be just one long video of 30 minutes. Just go through this and create your own Google My Business. You've got no reason why you cannot do it. The last one, this is the most interesting thing. This one, the first time I did this, I swear to you, I doubled my sales. This one thing, all right? It stems from what I told you earlier on about deciding on your product strategy, right? So you decided this is what you want to sell. I want to sell this for 899 rands. Then you populate your store with other things that complement this, what you really want to sell, right? Once you're done doing this, this is one half of the job done. The second half of the job done is now you're going to create your Google Shopping campaign, and now you're going to create your Google Ads campaign, right? So you go through this video that I showed you earlier on, and you go through the steps and you create your feed. Remember when we create the feed products, when you create your products from your online store that feed into Google Merchant, and then from Google Merchant, then you're going to take them into Google Ads. That feed is where I made my first mistake, right? You go and you Google, there are many products. There was a comment on the video saying something like, oh no, this feed plugin doesn't work anymore. So I'm going to Google for you something, right? WooCommerce, Google Shopping, product feeds, right? These are plugins that you can add onto WooCommerce to help you create a product feed for Google Shopping, right? So you can go over here, WooCommerce feed, and check, and you can search for all of them. I don't know how many they are. There's lots of them. In fact, if you really want to do this properly, you should look for articles that you should maybe say top 5, okay? Something like that. Top 5. So that you can find like articles that show you the 8 different ones, because there's many types of feeds that you can use. All right, in the video perhaps the one is no longer working, but have a look at all the different types of feeds you could be using. Try them all. Right, what you want is a feed that allows you to select the products that you're going to send to Google My Business. I mean, no, to Google Merchant. So the first time I did this, the first free plugin that I found, it took all of my store. So I had like 100 items in my store, 200 items, including all the lipsticks, including all the eyeliners that go for 50 rand, 60 rand. It took everything, including all the product variations. So if I had the lipstick in 20 different colors, it took all of them, right, into Google Shopping. So you end up having like 500 to 1,000 different products in your Google Shopping campaign. Some of them are 100 rands, 50 rands, 1,000 rands. That's not a good idea. Why? Because when you take your Google Merchant into Google Shopping is going to create a campaign to advertise all of those products for you. Which means when you pay in Google, because Google charges you per click. Google charges you per click every time someone clicks on an advert. So if I come here and I look at this and I click on Apple Watch, let me just click on it. Apple Watch is going to pay Google right now for my click. If I click on that, this SAB word is going to pay Google for that click. Every time somebody clicks on an advert, Google charges you for that click. So I clicked on a 15 grand ad. I'm probably paying the same amount. I mean, Apple is probably going to pay Google the same amount as SAB word is going to pay for a watch that is worth 900 rand. So if I end up buying this watch for 16 grand, Apple would have made more money because they sold a more higher value product for 15 grand, but maybe the click was worth 1 rand, right? I'm just guessing. So say the click was worth 1 rand, Apple would have paid 1 rand to Google for my click. And the same click is worth 1 rand. SAB would have paid 1 rand. But SAB, if I do make a sale, all right, they're going to only make 900 rand, whereas Apple Watch would have made 15,000 rands. So whatever money you make, Google doesn't care. Okay, it looks at that later on, but when it comes to the clicks themselves, whether your product is worth 15 grand or is worth 1 rand, if you're competing on the same keywords, you are paying the same cost per click or a similar cost per click. You are bidding on a similar cost per click with for Google, right? Why is this important? This is important because if I'm busy filling my whole Google Merchant campaign with lipsticks and eyeliners for 100 rands, right? I'm paying 1 rand per click every time somebody clicks on that advert for a lipstick. So every time, so even if they're just looking at eyeliners, oh, little kids, they want to see what color eyeliner they want. They're clicking on all the stuff. Every time I'm paying 1 rand per click for people clicking on eyeliner, which even if I do make a sale, I'm only going to make 100 rand. Right? You must know as well in terms of the mathematics of advertising, out of every per click that you get, it's not going to result in a sale. In fact, it's only about 1 to 2% of sales that you're going to make per clicks. So if I get 100 people to click on my advert, maybe I'm going to make 1 sale or 2 sales. It's about 2% conversion. So if I get about 100 clicks and I've paid 1 rand per click, I've paid 100 rand for that, for that day. But out of that 100 rand, I make 1 sale. If I make 1 sale, that means that I've spent 100 rand and I've sold something worth 129 rand. And I have to pay Google 100 rand because 100 people had to click for me to make one sale. You understand? I'm not making money that way. So you want to remove all your cheap items from Google Ads campaign completely, right? So I went through my Google merchant, product feed, and I looked through all the companies that provide feeds, and some of them you have to pay for it, but if it doesn't matter if you have to pay for the feed, if you have a better control over the feed, I think it's worth it, because I was able to pick the products I want to include in the feed. I want to include only these items that are worth 800, worth 1,000 rands. These are the items I really want to sell. Actually, these are the items I want to advertise, because these are the things I want to sell. These ones are just there to boost my store, and so my store it's got more products, but also to boost these things. So there's no need for me to include these ones in the Google Merchant Shopping campaigns. So I removed them, and guess what? Suddenly, people could not click on these anymore. Google still has to give me my 100 clicks a day because I'm paying them 100 rand, whatever. Guess what? I'm getting 100 clicks only on the things I want to sell. So suddenly, instead of selling lots and lots of eyeliners, I'm now selling lots and lots of the makeup kits. And for every sale, I'm selling 900 rand, 1,000 rand per kit, as opposed to making 100 rand per sale. You understand what I'm saying? So you can quickly make more money with Google Shopping Merchant campaign. And this worked for me, and I've tried and tested it more than once. Okay, get rid of all your cheap items from your Google Shopping feed. And even if you have only 20 items you got left, let it be just the high value items you want to sell. Trust me, Google Shopping will adjust. And if you were getting 1,000 clicks, you will still get 1,000 clicks. But there will not be clicks for lipsticks, there will be clicks for the kit, and that's what you'll sell. All right? So go and try these tricks. Go and try them. Come back and let me know which one worked for you, which one didn't work for you, which one you've already tried, and maybe you know other tricks that we don't know about that I didn't mention. Let us know in the comments below, because other people might learn from you as well. How can you improve your sales out of your e-commerce store, guys? See you again next week, and thank you guys for watching.